Hey everyone, welcome to Wendy's Workshop. Today we're going to be learning about foundation, concealer, and powder, which you may think how much really can go into that. There's a lot that goes into it. I'm going to go over it step by step and give you little tips and tricks, and hopefully you find it helpful and useful. So let's get started. I'm just going to put it out there right away and first say, the bun is real today. I am just going to go over a few things that I do like pre-makeup, and I don't mean like right before. Some people might think this is weird, but I do shave my face. I feel like it gives me a smoother look. For me, I feel like it makes a difference. I do it probably about once a week maybe, and I just do it with a real gentle razor. I've already moisturized my face this morning. I like to moisturize like a half hour before I do my makeup because I really like that moisture to set in. We are going to do foundation, concealer, and powder, and we'll go over that first. When you do your foundation, concealer, and powder to me, is the most important part. You are creating the entire base for all of the rest of your makeup to go on. I start with a primer. I have like several different sample size primers. I use them all. I mean, I don't think one is better than the other, but I do think it is important to use some type of primer just because it does fill in your pores. It sounds gross, but it does actually fill in your pores a little bit so the makeup doesn't sink right into your pores. I'm using the Benefit Professional. That's what I'll be using today. When I use my primer, I only put it basically in my T-zone where I notice that my pores are actually a lot bigger. And then I apply it under my eyes, and I just apply with my fingers. I apply it under my eyes because I kind of feel like I have some fine lines under my eyes, and I feel like it just fills in. I have wet my beauty sponge and squeeze it out. And I mean, when I get this thing wet, under the water, I squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, probably about 20 times, seriously, not joking. Then I squeeze it out, squeeze the excess water out, and then what I'll do is I'll take just a dry paper towel and then squeeze with the paper towel just to get any excess out. For my foundation, now I use full coverage foundation, not in the summer. I don't use full coverage foundation in the summer. In the winter, I like to do it. In the summer, it's way too heavy for me. What I'm using today, and you'll see that I have two of these. I use the Kat Von D foundation, and I actually use her concealer too. I love it. I use a lighter color on my chin. So down here, I use a little bit lighter color. It's probably about 2 shades lighter. Not lighter than my skin tone, but 2 shades lighter, just because I don't want to see almost like a line of demarcation here. So I don't like when you look at someone and it looks like they have a clown face on because their makeup is too dark. So what I like to do is I like to take this lighter color and blend that up, usually just on my chin in this part here. And then I go in after I do that with my darker shade. It's not dark by any means, but it's a tiny, tiny bit darker than what my regular skin tone is. And I blot that everywhere else. Besides getting some sun yesterday, my skin, I do have a little bit of rosacea. You can see I'm pretty pink in the cheeks. I don't get super pink, maybe my chin every once in a while, but my cheeks are always this color. This isn't just from sun. My cheeks are always rosy like this. Another reason that I like to use this this is like paint on your face. I'm not joking around. This stuff it'll cover everything, and you'll see as I go along. I mean, after this, I'll be like, what rosacea, you know? Okay, so when I'm applying, I squeeze the foundation right onto my beauty blender. I do about 1 squirt just for my chin area here, and like a half a squirt here, half a squirt here, half a squirt here, half a squirt here with the darker color. So I squeeze it right onto my beauty blender, and I just instantly start blotting it up against my face. I remember when I first tried a beauty sponge for the first time, and I had no idea that you were supposed to get this thing wet. And it's about half this size when it's not damp or wet. I was taking this thing and I was patting it on my face. It's like patting a rock against your face. Until magically one day, one of my friends told me, you're supposed to get that thing wet. Rosacea? What rosacea? I ain't got no rosacea. I don't know what you guys see on this face, but I ain't got no rosacea. But then I like to brighten up under my eyes, and I use, like I said before, the Kat Von D concealer in a little bit lighter shade than probably what my actual skin tone would be. And I just like to brighten under my eyes, and then if there's any blemishes on my face, I got a couple over on this side, I don't know if you can see them, I just like to blend those out a little bit. And I use my same beauty blender. I just use the opposite side. So I don't want to get foundation concealer all mushed in on this side. I do foundation on this side. I do concealer on this side, and you'll see in a little bit that I actually do powder with the flat side of it. So this concealer I actually just apply. It's got a beautiful, it goes on so wonderful because it has this little applicator. And this I just apply under the eyes. One dip for that side, one dip for this side. I can literally blot this thing against my face all day. Like, blending is so key. I mean, seriously, blotting this out like this, and it's like, it can only look better. Dark circles? Nope. Ain't got them no more. Foundation, concealer, done. Took me all of 5 minutes or less. Let's get her done quick. Okay, lastly in this video, I'm going to do powder. Now you may hear the word, I'm gonna give you a tutorial on how to put powder on, and you might think, oh my god, who doesn't know how to put powder on? Duh. There's a lot to it. This is something I've learned over the past year too. I never used to believe in this whole, you'll see girls say that they're baking, and I used to see them with the powder, I mean, powder blotted, in basically in their T-zone and under their eyes and kind of like right here. And I was always like, what's the point? What is the point? Because they're just gonna rub it, they're gonna wipe it away anyway. So when I was watching tutorials, nobody ever explained to me what baking actually is, so I had to look it up. But it is when your powder and your foundation, which is still a tiny, or your concealer and foundation, which is still maybe a little bit tacky, it's when the powder kind of like adheres. Then the reason they do it in such a thick coat is the powder is going to basically adhere and set. So I do find that baking, I do it every day because I like the way it makes my skin look. I feel like it gives you a flawless look, but especially when I'm going to be on camera or if I'm going to be in pictures, baking just gives you that very airbrushed look. Like I said, especially in pictures, it's beautiful in pictures. Again, this isn't something I do in the summertime. In the summertime, my makeup is a sheer foundation. I don't even think I use concealer in the summertime. And mascara, that's it. This is loose powder by, it's called Coty, C-O-T-Y. It's called Air Spun. This has been around for a very long time. I got this at Walgreens for $7, and it's huge. I mean, this is gonna last me a very, very, very long time. So this came with a puff inside of it. I threw that away, and as I stated, I used my beauty blender to apply my powder. It's still damp, which is fine, that's fine. I mean, it's not wet, but it's a little damp, and that's totally fine. All right, so I shake this, and I get the powder to come to the top. And I just shook it way too much. This bad boy is overflowing with powder now. This one is called Translucent Extra Coverage. So what I'm doing is I am taking my beauty sponge with the flat side, I already put a little powder on there, and literally like just picking up this thick layer of powder. So the whole thing is coated now, as you can see. And I'm going to take this thick layer of powder and I'm going to place it underneath my eyes and basically in my T-zone, and I'm going to let it sit there for about 5 minutes. Some women bake for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I don't got time for that. So the reason that I'm baking here and here is because it gives you basically a nice guideline for your contour. You'll know that you don't want to go underneath this line where you have the powder. And I'm doing my contour and highlight video next. So you'll see in my next video, I'll start with my face baking, because what I do while my face is baking, that's when I go through and I apply my contour on the sides of my nose and up on my forehead here. It's also a nice way to pass the time while you're baking. I don't want to sit here with powder on my face and go do something else. I'd rather kill some more birds with one stone. All right, so it has been about 5 minutes, and I'm going to wipe away this powder, the excess powder, with this is a stipple brush. It's a very light touch, and you definitely don't want to be using something heavy to wipe this away. You gently, gently want to wipe the excess away, and it'll just float away. Oh, beautiful airbrushed feel. So now we have created the base that all of our other makeup will go on. I'm talking contour, highlight, blush, eyeshadows, lipstick, eyebrows, all of the rest of the routine to do a full face of makeup. Next video will be contour and highlight and probably a little bit of blush. I want to thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed and loved it, please like and subscribe to my channel, Wendy's Workshop. And I hope to see you at the next video. Thanks.